Right, so I wanted to take a look at this 5J1092 I brought in from storage. It's in, looks like very good condition. I'm not sure the condition of the diesel or the started engine yet, but we'll figure that out. It's a 1938. Serial number is 5J1092. There's an SP on there, and it does match the data plate on the case. Diesel engine, like I say, is all intact. The only thing that's missing is the hour meter is, well, it's completely gone. But I've got others, so that can be repaired and restored, that's fine. The other thing is the fuel pressure gauge. Looks like a later style maybe, and glass is cracked, but I've got a nice silicone gauge I can put on there. The other thing I found sort of interesting was on the injection pump, the tag on the cover is brass. And all my other D2s, this tag is steel. So this appears to be an earlier injection pump for this 1938 tractor. The cover plate does match the casting, which is a 10P3057. Most of the pumps I have are in the serial number range of maybe 10P7000 something or 10P9000 something. So earlier pumps, brass tag, I don't know, but that's what we have. Starting engine controls, yeah, everything's free. The clutch is free. It's got a good snap over. The pinion, the lever is free, but I think the pinion maybe is stuck on the shaft or something. It's in the unlatched position, but it's stuck somehow. Compression release is free, seems to function fine. Starting engine controls, magneto switch is present, and it's in off position for some reason, but it functions. Choke and throttle are stuck in their positions there. The hood is beautiful, it's perfect. Don't see any dents or dings in that, so very pleased about that. As well as the fenders, the right fender being the best, is in pretty good shape, very good shape. It's very minor little dings in the corner, is to be expected. Left side, or the right side, not quite as good. It's got a couple of dents on the corner, and it's got a weld repair on top here. But it's fairly straight, which is good. Toolbox, kind of bashed in, but that can be straightened out, I think. What do we got in here? We got an intake filter for the starting engine and intake tube as well. Cooling system, the radiator is, it's got all the tags on it. The only damage I see is maybe down here from when it was moved last. But the guard is all intact and present. I think it's dry. Let's see, let's get a flashlight on that. Yeah, the radiator's dry, and this drain, this overflow tube is kind of pinched and bent there, so that needs a little bit of repair. Let's see, it's got the, yeah, it's got the older style drain tube. Comes out of the upper tank and then runs down behind the guard. It needs a new jar. This one's cracked, but that's fine. Everything's present. No dents and dings on the diesel intake. That's nice. Let's see. And I did look at the casting number down here. I don't know if you can see, it says DD EO, so that's 9938 deciphers too. So it's September 1938 tractor, and everything's present on this side. It does have the more modern exhaust jacket over the diesel intake. So we've got the starting engine exhaust comes through, and jacket around the diesel intake to preheat the diesel intake for better starting. So if I can find an original, more original intake tube for this, I'd like to swap it out. So this is much more modern. They didn't have these in 38. They didn't put these on until about serial number 4600 or so. Engine oil looks very good. Almost looks like it had a recent oil change, but no water. Good clean oil at the proper level. And like I say, the diesel engine does turn over. I put the crank to the front and was able to get a turn or so on it. Started to get a little tough to turn, so I stopped until I maybe take the cover off the valves and see what's going on in there. Make sure everything's good. I don't want to force it and break something. Starting engine does have it's been froze, so it does have a weld repair on there. Hard to say if it leaks or not. Yeah, it's got pretty good. This whole chunk is heaved out at one time. But I've got spares, got stuff for that, so we'll see. Maybe we'll swap that out. Get a good starting engine on there. Governor spring is broken. Belt, of course, is shot. Let's see if it has any oil in it. It does have a little bit of oil right at the end of the stick, so that's a good sign. And it does turn over with a little bit of compression, so that's good. And the thrust, fore and aft, the thrust on the crankshaft is minimal, which is a good sign. Tells us we got a good condition on that front bearing on the starting engine. Somebody's been into it looking for parts or something, because the fuel tank is off, gas collator's gone. So somebody's been taking some stuff off the top, but most everything seems to be intact, which is nice. Got oil pressure and water temperature gauges are newer style, not really correct for this. Got an old Rochester oil pressure and a Stuart Warner water temperature. I've got a good sylphin for this and a new old stock water temperature I can throw on there if I decide to restore this thing. Now, like I say, with this exhaust here, what it should really have is the pony motor exhaust that just deadheads out to the world. So I might put this manifold on it, and if I could find a little flapper for that, that'd be great too. Undercarriage looks amazing. It's all Caterpillar, and it's in very good shape. The sprocket is not sharp. It's got a little wear on the inside. I'm not sure what would cause that. I'm just noticing that. The inside of the tooth, I'm not sure what would make it wear like that. But the rails are in great shape. Let's put the gauge on it. And it looks to be about 50-60% on the rails. And they are a Caterpillar. You can see some of these are stamped up here. You can see that embossed Caterpillar. Front idlers are good as well. They've never been welded, and they measure out to be, just close to new. So stand-up rails, idler, and grousers are in great shape too. They're about 50-60%, 60% or more. Oops. Okay. So that's a wonderful thing. These rock guards are a little different. I don't even really call them rock guards. They don't come down the whole dimension here. They're just little shorties that looks like they mainly just protect the grease fittings, and then they stop right there. They don't continue to the front at all. So it's not really a rock guard, it's more of just a grease fitting guard, which I've not seen before. Most of these, all of these that I have the full skirt length, and it's one piece that's either stamped or cast that comes out fully to the front. So little shorty guards are kind of neat. Also got the cap on the pivot shaft. This is an old style. It's got the grease fitting out, just one grease fitting out exposed out at the end there. So they had these on the first, I don't know, 4,000 tractors or so. They've got the old style cap on this side. If you go around to the other side, it's the new style where it's protected, and it's, you know, all these different tractors. I've seen some on top, and they orient them to the side, and however the person decides to install it, I suppose. It's never had a dozer blade on it, it appears, because these still have the corks in the rail. So if we look at the drawbar, so that tells me it's a drawbar tractor, and there's minimal wear on this sector plate here. But it looks like the main wear took place right on the drawbar clevis there itself. So a lot of wear right here, but yeah, just a drawbar tractor. And the brake pedals tell me there's probably not a lot of time on this. It's hard to tell. There's no hour meter on the machine, but the brake pedals show a minimal wear. It's pretty equal left and right as well. Sometimes you get a drawbar tractor that's got a lot of wear on the left because they're making left turns all day in the field, and not as many right turns, but pretty equal wear on both pedals. The main clutch is stuck, engaged, so we can't run the shifter. The interlocks are engaged, but the lever seems to be free. Big issue is the steering clutches. The adjustment's been run way out. I don't know why. At least the levers are free and just sort of flopping around. But the adjustment's been run way out. I'm not sure why one would do that. Maybe for transport or something to get it freed up. I don't know. The brake pedals function, and they seem to have normal feel. They don't spring back as normally as they would or as easily. So the big money is going to be in the main clutch and the steering clutches. I have to see what that needs in the future if I decide to restore this thing. What else here? Seat tank, pretty good condition, except for, of course, the dings and pretty major hit on that one and backed into something. See if it's got any fuel in it. Yeah, so the fuel quantity stick is present, and it is dry. Dry. The screen is present. Get a light in there. And it's all there, but it's just been sitting dry, which is not ideal. So that's about all there is to it. What else? Yeah, I'm just ecstatic about the undercarriage being in such great shape. Original Caterpillar rails with a lot of life left in them. Rock guards are perfect. At least these uppers. It says that same shorty lower, only for the grease fittings, nothing below. Sprockets and idler, good, like we said. It has the carrier roller. That's about it. Thinking about taking the hood off this thing, hood and the side skirts, and we'll go from there. So if you have any suggestions on where to start on this thing, leave them in the comments. I've got a few ideas. All right, thanks for watching.